If you're a sensitive guy, this may make you mad. This video may get under your skin, right? And if you are, that's okay. So what you might want to do, you might want to. What time is it? It's 9:51 on my end, PM. You might want to go ahead and go to bed, bro. Right? You might want to go to bed because this might piss you off a little bit. All right? What's up? What's up, fellas? What's up? So here's a warning. If you're a sensitive guy, this may make you mad. This video may get under your skin, right? And if you are, that's okay. So what you might want to do, you might want to, what time is it? It's 9:51 on my end, PM. You might want to go ahead and go to bed, bro. Right? You might want to go to bed because this might piss you off a little bit, all right? All right, so let's get to it, man. What's up? Welcome back to Views from Azo. And today we're gonna be talking about, man, how to get chose with your mouth closed. How to get chose with your mouth closed, right? So if you don't know what that means, make sure my mic is still on. That term was coined by the former pimp, Pimpin' Ken, right? If you don't know about Pimpin' Ken, there's a lot of footage of him. He has his own YouTube channel. He's on IG. He's everywhere, right? He's done a lot of interviews, and he's not a pimp anymore. That's just who he was. But he still has an arsenal of game. So you want to get chose with your mouth closed. Now, let me break that down, right? Let me break that down. And this can apply for single guys, a girl you trying to get with. Maybe you're married. Maybe you're in a relationship and the spark has died down a little bit, and you want to rekindle it, right? It's always good to reinvent a situation or reinvent yourself, right? But let's get back. How to get chose with your mouth closed. That term means this. When Pimpin' King was on the track, right? The Blade. If you don't know what the Blade is, look it up. All right. He's trying to take the girls from the pimps, right? He would knock a pimp for his girl, right? So the pimps, they were selling these women dreams, right? Hey, I'm gonna take you to Hawaii. I'm gonna get you this. I'm gonna get you that. He just in her ear selling her a dream, right? Because that's kind of like what it is. You're trying to sell a girl a dream, right? Well, when Pimp and Ken pulled up and they seen him, when the women seen him, he was the dream, and they were flocking to him. He was the dream, right? He was the dream because he had the car, he had the minks, he had the money, he had the platinum vocal cords, as he would say. He had the total package, right? So a chick didn't have to go looking for a pimp. The pimp was right there in front of her eyes. He was the dream that they were looking for, right? And so, nevertheless, he knocked all the pimps for their girls. That's how you get chose with your mouth closed. Now, this game can not only apply to women, right? It can apply to the corporate world. It can apply to life, right? If you look at a moth is attracted to a light bulb, a flame, because you know why? It's interesting, right? So to sum everything up in a nutshell, those girls were flocking to Pimpin' King because at the end of the day, he looked interesting, right? He looked interesting. So let's go into it. Number one. All right. So I might be reading down in my paper, you know, that's okay as long as I get the point across. All right. So number one, you need to have a cool demeanor, meaning that don't be in a rush, right? You have to have the demeanor as if, listen, I'm gonna get there when I get there. The world revolves around me, right? That's the kind of demeanor you gotta kind of have, right? You don't want to be all fidgety and moving all fast like something wrong with you, like you on some crack or something. You want to have a real cool demeanor, all right? So one of my good friends, right? He's married now, but we used to go out a lot. In our early 20s, we would hit the club. I was always the guy, you know, talking to girls. I guess you can say chasing girls, right? It was a numbers game. So if I talk to 10, 15 girls, if I got 2 or 3 numbers, I'm good. You know, I got declined a lot, I did, you know. But I get like 3 numbers out of like 15, 20 girls, right? That's a lot of talking, man. When you only in the club for like 2, 3 hours, So it was like lights, camera, action. When I get in there, I'm trying to see who I'm gonna get with. Meanwhile, my buddy, he would play the corner. He would play the wall with a drink in his hand. And ever so often I would look over at him. He was talking to a female. The whole night he never left that spot. Yeah, he may move around a little bit, but he's playing the perimeter. He's not on the dance floor dancing. He's just playing the perimeter. And every time I looked at him, he had a chick in his face, right? And I used to be like, man, how do he do it? And I used to always ask him, like, bro, what are you doing? How do you do this? And he was like, he would just be smiling like, man, I'm just doing me. But what I didn't know back then, what I know now, is that he was getting chose with his mouth closed. He had a real cool demeanor. He didn't have a frown on his face, but he wasn't cheesing also. He was just cool. He sees something he like, he'll give her a smile. If she smiled back, it's game on, right? Meanwhile, I'm in, the bras that I like, I'm all in their face, but I'm not thirsty, but listen, I'm trying to take something home. I'm trying to get a number or something. You know what they say? I'm trying to catch a body. So that was me, So you want to have a real cool demeanor. You want to be relaxed as if you own the building. That's the vibe you want to get off, right? Like if I'm at a picnic or I'm at just somewhere chilling, depends on the environment. I'm like this. I'm just chilling. I'm not uptight. I'm just chilling, or I may, sit like this. I might, cross my leg, looking like a businessman, but I'm chilling. I'm just laid back, right? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not biting my nails. I'm just cool, right? And that's how you have to be when you step into a building, or if you somewhere just chilling. Just relax. You're gonna let the game come to you, right? Just like in sports, just like in basketball, let the game come to you. You got to get in that zone. And the only way you're going to be able to get in that zone is if you just relax. Just relax. All right. So number 2, right? This is the most controversial. And this is why I say you may get offended, right? But a lot of y'all just don't dress good. And when I say you dress good, you're not dressing good to get chose. Yeah, you may dress, quote unquote good, but I'm talking about if you're trying to get chose, if you're a single guy, or if you want to rekindle that flame with your woman, you're going to have to switch up your dress code, which means that you may have to spend a little bit more on it, right? You don't have to spend a whole lot, but you may have to spend a little more. So let me elaborate, okay? So you want to overdress, right? Now you don't want to go overboard, but you kind of want to overdress, right? You see this shirt I got on? Now, granted, this shirt don't even cost a lot of money, man. This shirt might have ran me about, I don't know, like $7, $8, but it's kind of flashy. It's kind of flashy. I like the colors. I like the material, and it's a conversation starter. Oh, I like that shirt, versus just having on just a regular beige type shirt, right? And when I say overdress, like if I was going to the club, which I don't go to clubs, and I kind of would advise you don't go to clubs too. But if I was going to a club or somewhere where it's going to be some pretty females, and depending on what the attire was, right? If it was kind of like laid back, something like this, I would probably wear something like this. I got my shades on, got my nice chain on, got my shirt open just a tad bit, got a nice shirt on. There's no way I can't get chose. Somebody gonna look, right? Somebody gonna look. And then when you put on some clothes that women look at and like, wow, that's a nice shirt. She may come up and compliment you on your shirt, or hey, can I wear your glasses? Stuff like that. So you kind of want to overdress a little bit. I'm not saying you got to wear a chain, right? You can wear no chain, right? You don't even have to wear a big chain, right? but you just want to dress in a way that you look interesting. Okay. Um, your shoes. Well, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but as far as like your dress, your clothes need to be ironed up for one thing. So if you go somewhere and you're wrinkled, nobody's gonna talk to you. Yeah, they're gonna look at you. They're gonna look at you like, yo, why did he even come over here looking like that, right? You're at the wrong party, bro. You're at the wrong party, dude. So uh you gotta iron your clothes, man. I said that in the last video. You got to iron your clothes, iron your shirt. If you don't like ironing, take them to the cleaners. It doesn't cost that much, right? Just a couple of dollars, maybe like $40, $50. Get them ironed up, get them dry and clean. You gotta look like something. You gotta look like a star. That's what I'm trying to say. You gotta look like a star when you pop up in the building. Just imagine if you finally got a date with this 10, this dime piece. She's out of your league, but because you had a cool demeanor, you played it cool, you had a good conversation. She's like, yo, yeah, I want to go out with you. So you decide to take her out to a nice little steak restaurant, right? Man, when you walk in the building, man, you gotta dress and you gotta look as if you own that place. You want every woman in that building looking at you. You don't want the women, right? You might not even pay any attention to them because you need to have your focus on your date. But I guarantee, because this happened to me many, many, many times, I guarantee when you sit down and after that menu comes, when the waiter leaves, she gonna be like, all these girls just looking at you. Oh, look at all these women just looking at you. She may say it playfully, or she may be kind of like a little jealous, right? And you know what she gonna do? She gonna want to cling to you even tighter because she don't want to lose you. Because when women see you with a nice looking woman, and their mind, they like, wow, what's so good about him? I wonder, right? So that's why your dress gotta be on point, man. You need clean shoes. You need clean shoes. If you want to wear dirty sneakers to the gym, to the laundromat, so be it. But when you step outside, it's time to run some errands. You got a date. Your shoes gotta be clean, man. If you wearing dress shoes, get some shoe shine. Get you a damp rag. Wipe them shoes down. Okay, wipe them down. Make sure that they looking spiffy. If you got a shoe horn that you can put inside your shoe to excuse me, to make those shoes look brand new, to knock out the creases, do what you gotta do. But them shoes gotta look good. They gotta be clean because that's the first thing people look at when they see you. Whether you know it or not, we look at people from the foot all the way up, right? So your shoes got to be clean. And as far as shoes, you might hate me for this, but I mean, leave them Jordans alone, bro. Like, leave. I get it. A lot of us are '80s babies. We were around when the Jordans first touchdown, right? And yeah, we're always gonna hold Jordans to our heart, right? But look, when you're on a date, bro, like leave that stuff in the closet, man. Right now. I'm talking about loafers, right? Chelsea boots. Um, if you can wear you some tie-up dress shoes, but them doggone Jordans, bro, leave them in the closet for the date, bro. Now if she want to wear her Jordans and y'all got a thing for Jordans, okay, that's something different. But if you're gonna wear sneakers, man, and this is why I say that you may have to spend a little bit more, man. You don't have to, but you might have to, right? Is get you some Gucci sneakers, man. Get you some Louis Vuitton sneakers, right? They're sneakers, but they're also like you can wear them with some chinos. You can wear them with some linen pants. You know the kind I'm talking about. Like they sneakers, but you can dress casual with them. They're not clunky or nothing like that, right? And truthfully, you may pay about 300, 400 for those, right? But there's a conversation starter, right? And even though she might not be into the Louis or the Gucci, the fact that you got them on and you looking good in them, that's enough to draw some attention, right? She gonna want to come over there. Maybe she's a Gucci or a Louis connoisseur, because a lot of women wear Gucci and Louis, right? So you gotta have them shoes on point, man. Um, and as far as shirts, your shirts need to be player, dog. You need some flashy or exotic shirts. Not all the time, right? But just on those occasions, man, when you want to send a message to a chick like, look, I'm that guy. Get you. And I'm gonna show some shirts after this video is done. Some of the shirts that I wear, the companies that I like to choose from. But you want to have a nice shirt that's gonna be a conversation starter, right? I've been in a lot of places where I had nice shirts on, and I was approached by women and guys who like, yo, like I like that shirt. Like, where'd you get that shirt from? Like, I'm really good at like picking out some fly shirts that's gonna be a conversation starter. Now, obviously, if you're a business guy and you're having a business meeting, no, you don't want to wear a flashy shirt, right? You want to go with a white shirt or a blue shirt, blue suit, black suit. You know the corporate routine. I'm talking about when it's off the clock, when it's showtime, party time. When you stepping out, get you some nice, exotic, flashy shirts, right? Something that's gonna spark up a conversation. All right. So when it comes to shirts, to give you an idea what I mean, and like I say, you don't have to spend this much on a shirt, but listen, some people just got it like that, right? So get you some Versace shirts, man. Get you some. It's a company I like to go through called Barabbas, Barabas, and their shirts are similar to Versace, right? These are some nice shirts, man. These shirts have all kind of intricate designs on them. You have to just check out the website, but there's some real exotic shirts, man. And women like stuff like that, right? Especially them fine women, them dime pieces, because a lot of the women are like detail oriented, right? And they see a man with a very exotic shirt on, something that is still masculine. She wants to know, like, where'd you get the shirt? Or she may even compliment you on it, right? One time I was in Orlando for a business meeting, like 2023, and I had a real nice shirt on, and I was in the elevator. We was just leaving the convention. I'm going to my room on like the 10th floor, and they had this beautiful woman, right, white chick, and the first thing she said, she's like, "Oh, that is such a gorgeous shirt, right?" It was a shirt kind of something like this. It had some designs in it. Had my sleeves rolled up. I had my collar stiff. Had my little chain on. I had my reading glasses on, looking very debonair, sophisticated. And she complimented me. Matter of fact, two women complimented me on my shirt. And like I said, I just know how to choose shirts, man, because that could have sparked off something right there. She was a cougar, but the cougar would have got it that day. Just kidding, just kidding. But so yeah, man. So listen, man, this is how you get chose with your mouth closed. So obviously, I'm gonna make a part two to this. I just want to, get my feet wet with this one because, man, truthfully, man, I'm on Threads every day. If you don't know what Threads is basically a spinoff from Instagram, where it's mostly conversations, right? It's another version of Twitter, and it's a lot of let me see, relationship dynamics on there about just dating and stuff like that. And there's other topics. It's a plethora of topics, but one of the topics that's very intriguing is the dating, right? And how men are just sick of the things that women are doing. Women are sick of the things that guys are doing when it comes to dating. And that's a lot of lonely guys out there because they just don't know what to do. They think they know what to do, right? But they don't know what to do. And a lot of it doesn't really even it's not really about getting women, because I don't want to come off like that, but it's really about just being a guy and just living your best life, you know what I mean? Embracing that masculinity. And one of the traits of embracing your masculinity is, man, like, man, knowing how to dress, how to talk to women. Because a lot of guys, they treat women like a piece of meat. Hey, say baby, psst, psst, with the cat calls and stuff like that. And then they wonder why, like, man, these women, man, they be acting all stuck up. Well, no matter how good she looks, right? She's still a human. She's still a human being, and she wants to be treated like a human being, right? Now, yeah, women are like cats, Mars and Venus. They're very different from guys, but at the end of the day, she wants to be treated just like you, like a human and not an object, right? And that's what a lot of guys do. All right. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, man. How to get chose with your mouth closed, part one. If you got any questions, any feedback, holla at your boy. Peace.